we want to send a strong message to government that the people of Ireland do not want abortion. Lawyers know we're not under any obligation to legislate for it. Psychiatrists know it's not a treatment for suicidality, and obstetricians know that they don't need it to manage difficult complications of pregnancy. And most importantly, our Taoiseach knows that he has no mandate other than to keep his pro-life promise. We just have to get the government to join these dots, to listen to the weight of the experts they consulted, and to us, the people, many of whom voted for this Taoiseach and his government on the strength of his pro-life promise.
It is our great, great pleasure to welcome you here to the National Vigil for Life. Every mother deserves top-quality medical care in pregnancy, and every unborn child deserves to have his or her life protected. This government's abortion legislation is simply unjust and dangerous. We are going to work hard. We are determined to stop this happening in our country.
Gathered here this afternoon, we have parents who have cared for their daughters through a crisis pregnancy and have helped to raise their grandchildren. We have women who have been violated and became pregnant as a result. We have couples who were given the news that their babies would not survive long after birth. We have people who've been affected by suicide. We have women and men who have been hurt by abortion. And we have adopted people who appreciate the gift of life. We come from different political, social and religious backgrounds. But what unites us is the belief that every human life has an intrinsic value and that it can never be right deliberately to take the life of a completely innocent human being. We oppose abortion because we believe in compassion and justice. Real compassion, the sort that supports women in crisis pregnancies, not the cold compassion of the abortion clinic. The clarity required in our law can be achieved without legislating for abortion. They say it is necessary to provide clarity to doctors. It does no such thing. The grey areas that we heard so much about are still grey. Clinical decisions still have to be made, and doctors still have to make those decisions, just as they always have done. The bill gives no assistance to doctors in this regard. They say it's necessary to protect women's lives. It does no such thing. There is no further protection offered in this bill that women do not own. They call it the Protection of Life During Pregnancy Bill.
Rubbish!
Well, this is one piece of legislation that does not do what it says on the tin.
Abortion devastated my life, and I lost
2 children to the lies of the abortion industry. Abortion stole my children and deeply damaged me. I used to be pro-choice. I was a career woman. I believed abortion was a quick fix. And I believed the lies that it was just a blob of cells. My first abortion was my choice, but I did not expect to feel intense grief for that lost baby, because as I said, it was my choice. My personality changed overnight after my first abortion. I went from being confident and happy to having very low self-esteem and being severely depressed. I know it sounds strange, but at the time, I didn't connect these feelings. This behaviour was linked to my abortion. Why would I? I was never ever warned that abortion would affect me. 5 years later, I went on to have another abortion. I longed to replace that baby that I'd lost. But this time, my boyfriend didn't support me. He didn't want me to have the baby, and he coerced me into having another abortion. This was not a choice I wanted to make, but because I loved him and I wanted to keep my relationship, I went along with it. If I had been given the support and the love, I would have kept my baby, but that was not the case. And after my second abortion, my life spiraled out of control. I became extremely depressed. I had thoughts of suicide. I started drinking excessively. I smoked crack cocaine. I wanted to die. I suffered in silence, and I was held by guilt and shame for 10 years until I accessed help through Surrendering the Secret. It's a Bible-based healing recovery program. That was 2 years ago. Now I've come far on my own healing journey, and I've been trained in Surrendering the Secrets, and I want to help other women get the healing from the awful effects of abortion.
But it's also a privilege, an honor, and a noble cause to say yes to life and no to abortion. We must play our part in building a society that protects the right to life of unborn children and also protects women against the harm of abortion. You must never pass up an opportunity to remind the public and your legislators what legalizing abortion translates to in reality. So many families, like my own, have been touched by abortion and the harrowing consequences it has for women. I encourage you to let your politicians know that here in the U.S., among the younger generation, the tide is turning against abortion. More and more men and women are speaking out about the harm abortion has caused their families as well. When my great-uncle, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was alive, civil rights was the defining issue of his generation. There is no doubt in my mind that the defining human rights issue of our time and in our generation is the protection of unborn human life. That is why my thoughts and prayers are with you as you assemble in this vigil in defense of the lives of unborn children in Ireland. Don't ever lose heart. Don't ever give up. The pro-life community worldwide is with you. Thank you.
And we'll be here again on Election Day.